that, and you can practice on that. Okay. Just one more request, kindly unmute yourself. If you want to see something, you can unmute and speak, otherwise mute yourself. Okay. So this is how I'm saying. Second point is daily answer writing practice. Still, it is really sad that I'm saying, because this was my initiative when I joined as academic head here. It was my initiative that everyone should do at least daily one answer writing. Okay, so that would be a beneficial for you. But still, there are some few are the students whose copy regularly I am getting, like Komal is there, Priya. These are the some student name I remember. Some of the copy I personally check and I am getting that evaluated. So please, it is a request. I am again requesting you, for it's for your benefit only. Nothing is going to benefit me now. Whatever I have done, I have done. So at least try writing those answers. You will do mistakes, but next is the improvement. Once you do mistake, next will be your improvement. Okay. Coming to today's current affairs, the first topic is well known to everyone. That is extreme rain event in July. We have to also cancel some of the sessions, and probably we have to do some more in case it rains heavily. Okay. Why there is an extreme rain? I hope from the childhood you have studied, or class 11, 12, everything you have studied global warming, climate changing, El Nino. These are the factors which are affecting climate badly. So many jokes, or you can say, although it looks like a joke, but it's a fact कि बरसात में पहाड़ जो है खुद घूमने नीचे आती है, तो आप पहाड़ों में घूमने मत जाइए. So it's some type of something rumors we can say, or some type of fun jokes circulating, but it's a fact. Complete North India, वो कभी कहते हैं ना कि जब जो चीजें इंडिया में जब तक दिल्ली में ना हो, it's does not gets a news headline. Once it start in Delhi, it gets news headline. Okay. So that's what happened. Hardly you can say 25% of Delhi affected. Although it is also I'm giving a you can say higher figure. Complete South Delhi, no effect at all. Even that is most of the Delhi is not affected. Yes, 25% of Delhi have been affected, but it's covered so huge that yes, complete Delhi डूब गई, पानी पानी हो गया, सब हो गया, ठीक है. But if you see, contrary to that, Brahmaputra is completely flooding Guwahati, Assam and all. Okay. And there this condition is still worsened. More deeper, you can say, condition is more worse than Delhi. Okay. So that news should be covered. Manipur news should be covered. But it is a sad that we have to cover Delhi news. Even when I am going to discuss this topic, I'll cover Delhi news only because everyone is covering that only. Okay. As a point of view, UPSC, what UPSC can ask question? UPSC will not ask questions or any chunky headlines from you. UPSC can ask the cause of rainfall in northern India, heavy rainfall in northern India, how monsoon is affecting that, and why this year monsoon carries more rainfall in initial stage. This was a very big question. Okay, generally, initially, when monsoon arrive initially, it is a dry monsoon. First phase of monsoon is dry monsoon, because before that, there is a hot summer. So the first phase of monsoon generally remains a dry monsoon. We generally expect that. Okay. But this year, due to Biparjoy, I hope I have discussed Biparjoy in this sessions as well. There was a cyclone named Biparjoy. Due to that, this year, initial monsoon is carrying heavy rain, and that is causing flood. First is caused floods in Gujarat, and due to you can say the climatic condition and all, this rain is downing heavily in all the hilly state. Punjab, Haryana is badly affected, and last or least you can say Delhi. Next topic we are going to discuss is FL 2027 patent case. I hope all of you eating Lay's. Okay, so this FL 2027 is a name of the potato or the breed of potato by which from which the Lay's or any chips is made. Okay, so there is a case by PepsiCo in the High Court, and the verdict has been delivered. So that we are going to discuss in this topic. Next is Article 370. Although topic is old, but why we are discussing today? By I hope you might following Supreme Court judgment or Supreme Court hearing and all. There is a constitutional hearing is expected from 5th August. From not expected, date is finalized, so it's you can say fixed. So constitutional hearing is fixed whether it was constitutionally correct to abolish or to remove Article 370 or to decrease the power of Article 370. Although whatever we have heard till date or we are hearing till date, it's a political statement. Legality and constitutionality is a different from political statement. When you hear your leader, it's just they are saying political. Bharat Mata ki jai. But that is not what Supreme Court is going to listen, right? You have to give the logic, whether it was required to remove 370, whether the legality, can Indian government or Indian parliament has power to do this? If yes, or under which article it has power to do that, and at what extent it can do that. So everything will be questioned here. A long hearing will go. Around 7 judge benches. I exactly not remember, but I think that 7 judge benches sitting there, and they will hear this matter. And finally, a verdict will be delivered. Okay, verdict is expected around next year, because hearing will go, then verdict will be reserved and all. So everything will take all this. Okay, so this is Article 370. I hope you might be aware of basic of Article 370. If not, we have covered in notes. Please go through that. Next is 6th year of GST. Recent meeting was done in the GST. That's why it's in the news. I hope 28% GST has been included for the online gaming. कई सारे लोग ड्रीम 11 खेलते होंगे जब IPL चलता था. So all these, if you are going to play, so every 100 rupees you are going to spend on that, 28 rupees you have to give taxes. That is 72 rupees only. Means अब अगर आप 100 rupees का परचेज कर रहे हैं तो आप 72 rupees का ही परचेज करेंगे, क्योंकि 28 rupees आपको गवर्नमेंट को टैक्स देना पड़ेगा. It got, you can say, backlashing from some of the corporate like Ashwin Grover and all. They have tweeted against the government that it is not in the spirit of good business or a startup and all. So let's see how government react on that. But a new tax has been introduced, that is online gaming tax. And even there was a heated argument between Delhi and Punjab finance minister, you can say, and India's finance minister, that is Nirmala Sitharaman, over some of the issues of businessmen over GST. So that's what key highlight of GST, which that is meeting has been done 2-3 days before. So that is about GST. Then Chandrayaan 3, a very important topic, or you can say pride for us. You have to, in this topic, you have to cover according to prelims point of view as well as mains point of view. You have to search what is the name of lender. That is, I think Bikram is the name of the lender. What is the name of rover? Okay, someone want to ask something? Jaideep, kindly unmute, mute yourself. Okay. Yeah, Chandrayaan 3, there we have to remember the name of lender and all. So that we'll discuss when we'll discuss the complete topic. Protecting the honor of national anthem. I hope all those who are reading polity or have complete reading the polity, they might know that this national anthem and obeying national anthems come under fundamental duties. And if you remember, fundamental duties, the part of fundamental duties which is written in the constitution is not constitutionally enforceable. इसको law के through हम enforce नहीं कर सकते. Like you can say fundamental right is enforceable in the law, but fundamental duty is not enforceable. But yes, there are some of the, you can say, duties of the citizen which citizen need to obey. So in that case, if we cannot protect national anthem, national flag, it's really a sad status. So that we are going to discuss. Okay, so these are the some of the topics which I am going to discuss today, this 6-7 topic, and then at the end, some of the topic will be covered through MCQ, that is 10-12 MCQ, and then some mains questions we are going to discuss. The first topic, it's a topic we can say more towards graphics. Pani hai, pura northern India flood hai. Okay, nothing much to discuss in this, but important geophysical and phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, and volcanic activity, cyclone, which cause this type of calamity. Some of the fact I have just written here just for your purpose. Because when you read rainfall for UPSC, you will not post some pictures from Delhi, you can say street. You have to read a detail. So I have just what is called normal rainfall. That is, if the rainfall is between -19% to 19%, then deficient rainfall. So I have defined this category, how it is called a good rainfall, how it is high rainfall, what are the category, how it is measured. So this data you can refer, because this year if you see the MCQ question, they have asked question over data. So sometime, although many teachers were in impression that UPSC do not ask question over data, but this year even in government scheme they have asked question on data, whether it is correct or not. And question were such that if you don't know any of the options, you cannot make that question correct. That I've already discussed why it was difficult this year. Okay, so that's why I have put a data, what is called deficient rainfall, how high rainfall is calculated, everything. So you can go through that. Next is over 39% of Indian states received large excess rain, which were devastating due to their intense and extreme nature. Okay, so this. Okay, let's talk some general. Is it possible to stop flood by any way, any means? Any state is prepared for the flood? I think the answer is no. Reason being is that, let's suppose talk of Delhi. Delhi is prepared for the a level of you can say suppose the Yamuna river level is 207 cosecant or something like that. So Delhi is prepared for that much only. Any drainage is not prepared for rain, right? Drainage is made for the normal water usage of that state and everything. Okay, yes, it can be cleaned regularly. I'm not saying that government is it all right step, but this cannot be stopped. Okay, nature had its way of correction. Okay, if you see the pictures, that is a Red Fort. I have especially seen that. If you see, that is a that is water around Red Fort. If you see same picture around 50 years back, that is in somewhere in 1950, there was a water around Red Fort. At that time, it was a natural. So we you can say हमने जो यमुना रिवर था उसको कम करते चले गए और अलग अलग कंस्ट्रक्शन हमने शुरू कर दिया. We constructed अक्षरधाम, we constructed you can say metros, we reduced Najafgarh into a drain. Okay, so once river back to its normal you can say course, then this type of situation happen. And practically if we talk on this, it is impossible for any government to prepare itself for any calamity, whether it was a COVID, although Delhi has some of a good hospital of the world, you can say right now, or India, but when calamity arrives, it all you can say, even for America, क्या अमेरिका ने अपने आप को कोविड में बचा पाया? नहीं ना, right? Because they are prepared for the natural means you can say the day-to-day affairs, but they are not prepared for the calamity. So no matter what we talk, no matter what we blame over the government, but when it is a calamity, there is only one way, that everyone should stand together and help as much as possible and reduce the effect as much as possible. Like Delhi is raining, okay, accepted. Flood is there, accepted. अब ये हमारा होता है, चाहे जितने भी टीम हो, being it NDRF, being it DDMA and everything, they should go into the local areas. Those in the low-lying areas, they should be evacuated and bring back to the high-lying areas. Okay, this is the point you have to write in your answers, that how to, because when UPSC will ask question, then what are the causes of rainfall? What are the ways and means government can do during this flood situation and all? Okay, yes, some of the arguments say that dam can be constructed, but that is also dangerous. If you stop the natural flow of the river, the day will arrive when river will make its way. And the day, at that day when rivers will start breaking the dam, then at that time the control all will even more you can say hard for any of the government. So yes, even Delhi government, or for that matter Haryana and Punjab government, all has given in written that we should construct dam to check Yamuna or Satluj river water or Beas river water. But is that feasible, or it have its own shortcoming? Okay, so my point in saying this, that there is a no way to stop natural calamity. If something is beyond control, like every government is prepared for a control situation, कि इतना rainfall होगा तो हम control कर लेंगे, हमारा drainage इतने के लिए prepared है. But if it rains more than that, if Yamuna is flowing more above its danger mark, we cannot do much. Yes, what we can, or what government can do, that maximum government can do, that reduce the damage, can protect the life, can protect the livelihood of the animal and human, and can control this electricity and all, so that damage is minimum. Okay, July rainfall in Himachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh exceeded normal level by 26%. Now you think, if anything 26%, suppose you eat more than 26% of your capability, will you be means आप जिंदा रहोगे क्या अगर अपने से 26% ज्यादा खाना खा लिया आपने? So how can you think that if rain is more than 26% than normal level, so it will be a normal situation and government can control that? Never. Government cannot control that. Yes, government can minimize the risk. That is the only point, or only you can say excess government has in hand. Okay. Severe destruction and loss of life, especially in hilly region. Again, the in this the fault of human is high, because government issue advisory that during this 2 months, that is July and August, which have a heavy rainfall, do not visit hilly areas. But we go for the vacations and sometimes we lost our life. Heavy rain responsible for the devastations, common sense. Okay, some of the point, normal rainfall, and through it has been you can say depicted by the map. Why it is important? This you can also use in the exam. This looks good when you use this type of map in your answer writing. Some student approached me and asked me how to draw the graphics. This way you can show the rainfall. Sometimes if a question is asked over rainfall, you can draw a map, and this is how you show it. It will give means you will get extra marks for doing all this. Okay, so that will help you out. Causes extreme rainfall. What was the causes of extreme rainfall? Biparjoy cyclone that I've already discussed. Western disturbances and monsoon winds interacting over northern India contribute the heavy rainfall. Climate change is known as to enhance likelihood and intensity of extreme weather. The warming of Arabian Sea with temperature rise approximately 1.5 degrees Celsius in January correlate with excess rainfall in northwest India. Okay, so these are the few regions you might have discussed in the geography. Or you can say simple, we have already discussing global warming from day one and all this. So these are the some of the region. Monsoon tracker, you can see just just for looking beautiful, this has been drawn, but you can use this. What are the monsoon line and all are the factors which cause rainfall and all. So that is important for you. So that's what monsoon. A summary point or conclusive point which we can do. Causes of rainfall can be many, be it El Nino or the factor of La Nina. So that factors can cause high rainfall or low rainfall, depending upon the many factors. Even it is not in the hand of India, because if you see El Nino and La Nina factor of Australia and all, what India can do in that. There the some factor is there, and that Peruvian chilli current is not in hand of India. That Peruvian chilli current, it will cold current blow. It has a moisture and all. If it will blow or not blow, it not in our hand, like suppose. So many things is not our hand. What India can do, or what as a country we can do, at least some of the state which is suffering every year due to this heavy rainfall, especially like now, if you it is they are not far when you will see that Bihar Kosi river, that is called Saro of the Bihar. We also call Saro of the Bihar Kosi river. So these are when this Nepal start releasing water in this. So that what there we can talk and we can stop the loss of the life, because life is very precious, right? For everyone, for us, for you and everyone. So these are the some which is happening every year. So that can be stopped. A proper dam and canal can be constructed. River water can be that a very ambitious project in some of the, you can say, international cities. There the river is interconnected, but in India river are not interconnected. So that also is a case. So these are the some case a government can do at level, at connecting rivers, okay, getting river waters to the you can say farmer, for the use of farmer and all. So these are the some steps that can be taken by the government, so that it can help to reduce the loss of life. Yes, still there would be a loss of life, but it can be minimized. So that's the only conclusive point I can say here. Coming to this topic, second, there was a case in Delhi SC, that is Delhi High Court, from PepsiCo. PepsiCo is a brand who manufacture Lay's and all. Okay, what was the case? In simple language, I am just explaining you. There was a variety of potato, which I have already said, that is FL2027 potato variety, and this variety was means you can say was somewhere came from the America and all. Okay, so in India, Gujarat farmers start cultivating the same variety of potato, and so there was so many local Lay's manufacturer. So this PepsiCo approached to Delhi High Court and said that कि इस पे जो हमारा है वो copyright है, simple. So we have a copyright, or you can say we have a claim over there. This is the exclusive our product. So no other farmer can grow this potato or something like that. So Delhi High Court has heard this in detail and finally say that there is no merit in your point, and this case was dismissed. That means the farmer who were used to grow this variety of potato in Gujarat, they can continue doing. So this was a simple case. But yes, important for UPSC, and UPSC can ask over this, especially in MCQ, they can ask about the variety of potato. Delhi High Court held that there was no merit in the appeal filed by PepsiCo over the patent right. I hope you know the word I used, copyright, or a general word. Patent right generally used there. So patent right for its unique potato variety, and the potato name I already said. The appeal was against an order passed by Protection of Plant Variety and Farmer Right Authority, revoking the PepsiCo's registration with unique potato variety developed by it. Okay, so it against this, the appeal was filed in the High Court. The case involves the protections and patent rights of the potato variety FL 2027. This was a variety of potato, or the name of the variety of potato by which Lay's is made. Okay, the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers Right Authority initially granted a patent registration for FL 2027. Okay, so this was the authorities who granted registration or patent right to PepsiCo. Okay, so against this authority's order, you can say some of the social activists and all approached to the court, and finally they gave a verdict in their favor. On December 3rd, the PPVFRA, the name the explained above, revoked the patent based on the Protection of Plant and Varieties and Farmer Right Act 2001. Okay. PepsiCo's India's applications for the renewed registration was also rejected by the same. Okay, the PepsiCo challenged both revocation order and rejection of the renewal application in Delhi High Court. So, okay, the case is simple. First, the permission was granted by this organization, that is Protection Plant Varieties Farmer Right. Then this permission was revoked. Again, the same request has been made by the PepsiCo to grant patent right again, but that again has been rejected. PepsiCo approached to Delhi High Court against the order of revoke as well as not getting the new patent right, but that has been rejected by Delhi High Court. That's a simple news. Okay, the court rejected PepsiCo appeal based on section 34(1) incorrect information funding. PepsiCo had applied for registration of the FL 2027 variety as a new variant instead of an extant variant. FL 2027 did not meet the novelty of a requirement for a new variant. Okay, again, here is a case that I would like to explain you. The Gujarat farmer has claimed that the variety of patent which has been asked by the PepsiCo is already been grown by us from long back. Okay, so if in case they want to get a patent right, they will get as a extant variant, not as a new variant. Why it is not a new variant? Because it has been already grown by the Indian farmer. Okay, so how it can be a new variant? अगर कोई चीज पहले से है तो नया कैसे होगा? आपने कुछ एक और एक्स्ट्रा बना लिया तो आप एज एक्सटेंडेड वेरिएंट के बीच में इसका ग्रांट ले सकते हैं. So that's why this appeal has been dismissed, and finally potato can be. So little bit about plant variant FL 2027. Variety FL 2027, also known as FC5. This you have to remember. Your question can be asked, or MCQ can be framed over this. It has a high dry matter and low sugar content, and making it ideal for chip production. Chips जो हम लोग खाते हैं. And developed in 1996, FL 2027 was created by a breeder working for PepsiCo in a US-based company. So this was a breeder who worked in a US-based company. That's why they are claiming a patent right. But Gujarat farmer is saying that we are growing it from long back. FL 2027 sold under the commercial name FC5 is a primarily used in the manufacturing of potato chips under the Lay's brand. आप सबने Lay's खाया होगा. Okay. What is PPVFRA? The organization which gave the permission. The PPVFRA is an organization responsible for safeguarding the right of the plant breeder farmer in India. It is an authority established under the Protection of Plant Variety and Farmers Act 2001. The FFDRA plays a crucial role in granting intellectual property protections to plant and variety. Okay, so that's all. So summary, we can conclude here that there is an organization, that is FFBFRA, who is responsible to granting rights and also responsible for the protecting the right of plant and other variety. So they have earlier given the patent right to this potato chips company brand, and that is FL 2027. But that right has been revoked, and finally the right has not been given again. Okay, for that they have approached Delhi High Court, and finally Delhi High Court has dismissed that petition because they said you cannot claim it as a new variant, as this variant has already been grown by Gujarat farmer. So that's what the case. Okay, Article 370, important part. Before going into the detail, just let us see this point, especially this part. कि क्या पहले था 370 के और अब क्या है. Lots of people are confused कि what is 370, everything has been removed. No, portion of 370 has been removed. Completely Article 370 has not been removed. Okay, the first point is special status to J&K, that is Jammu and Kashmir. J&K will be other Indian state as Indian territory or union territory. Okay, so जो special status था उसको वो हटा दिया गया है और it will be treated as the same like any other state. Same like any other state, when we say, it means you can buy land there. Earlier you cannot buy land there, although अभी तक किसी ने खरीदा नहीं है, but yes, the right has been given. Second, inheritance of the property. Earlier it was mandatory that even if you Jammu Kashmir girls married outside Jammu Kashmir, then the property you cannot inherit the property. That girls cannot inherit the property. But now if you marry to any Jammu Kashmir girl, or if a Jammu Kashmir boy marries to the girls outside Jammu Kashmir, that is suppose Himachali girl, then that property can be inherited. That is now our new rules. Okay. Earlier J can have a own flag. Okay. It has an Indian national flag. Our forefather, that is श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी, ठीक है, इन्होंने ये इशू उठाया था कि एक ही फ्लैग रहेगा. We generally say in one line, एक देश एक विधान एक संविधान. That is in Hindi we call one India one constitution. Okay, so that is why Indian national flag, there will be only one flag, no two flag. Even for the citizenship, there is a you can say it's not like India has a dual citizenship, but if we consider of the case of Jammu Kashmir, it's somewhere in the line of dual citizenship for the Jammu and Kashmir. So that has been removed. Okay, उसके अलावा बाकी चीजें सेम है. They can also any other means जैसे हम अगर कहीं दूसरे स्टेट में जॉब निकलता है तो we apply for that job. So Jammu Kashmir also we can apply for the job. So these are the some points which I was trying to explain कि क्या बदला है after 370. Okay, so that has been changed, that after you can say this removing of 370. Okay, so now its constitutionality is challenged in the Supreme Court. अभी जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं इसको उसी पर्पस से पढ़ रहे हैं कि इसकी constitutionality को चैलेंज किया गया है. फिलहाल जम्मू कश्मीर जो है वो एक स्टेट नहीं है. जम्मू कश्मीर और लद्दाख दो पार्ट में डिवाइडेड हो गया. It has been divided into two parts and both are now UTs, Union Territory. Okay. It is a special UT. Why? Because it will have a legislative assembly. Okay. Can someone tell me the name of state with have a legislative assembly? Sorry, name of UT with have a legislative assembly? Delhi. And
Puducherry.
Yes. It is Delhi, Puducherry, and you can say Jammu and Kashmir. Ladakh would be not there. Ladakh will be only Union Territory. Okay. Other, you can say other territory who have just UT but not legislative assembly like Chandigarh, Lakshadweep and all. Okay. So it is like that. So Jammu Kashmir will be UT which have a legislative assembly. Okay. It means that some power will lie with the center. Like in case of Delhi, the Lieutenant Governor has some power, that is in land, law and order and police. Okay, although there are new ordinance, everything has been given to him only, but that is a different case. But generally, if you see into Puducherry, there it's not like that. Why there is not debate there? Because that is not a national capital. Since Delhi is a national capital, so complication is more here. Okay, that's why more conflict you can say in Delhi case. Not that much conflict is not seen in case of Puducherry. So that will be there. Okay. In case of Jammu Kashmir, there is a chances of conflict again because it's a highly sensitive area. Okay. Now coming to this, that is constitutional validity. A 5-judge bench of constitutional bench. Sorry, I was in the initial I said 7-judge bench. Not it's a 5-judge bench. Constitutional bench is set to hear the piliage about the Article 370 for the first time since March 2020. Okay, तो यहाँ से इनका है 5 जज बेंच की सुनवाई करेगा. Article 370 of the Indian Constitution granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir. So what was Article 370? It imposed significant limitations on the parliament legislative power for the state compared to other state. Okay, I hope you might have read parliament chapter in the polity. there it is very much clearly written that the parliament, whatever parliament law passed by parliament will be applicable to the complete nations. Okay, and under complete territory of the India. Okay, in the some cases it can be modified, like in case of union treaty on the permission of president or the power of president. Okay, so that can be modified, or even some of the northeastern state and all, there it can be modified. So in the case of Jammu Kashmir, the law of parliament can only be applied earlier. I am talking about before 370, once that has been approved by the legislative assembly of Jammu Kashmir. So earlier law was that कि पहले parliament को pass करना पड़ेगा, फिर Jammu Kashmir assembly को pass करना पड़ेगा, then that law will be applied in this Jammu Kashmir area. But now that has been removed. Origin and temporary provision, Article 370 was a result of the instrument of annexation. कहाँ से ये आया था? Instrument of annexation. There is a long history. Maharaja Hari Singh. Okay. So what was happened? Okay, if you there is a very good series on YouTube, that is Pradhan Mantri by Shekhar Kapur. I would request all of you to watch that. Go on the YouTube and search the series Pradhan Mantri by Shekhar Kapur. In that, the story will be shared with you by all the Prime Minister of India and their tenure and all. Okay. So if we talk about this instrument of annexation, I hope you remember at that time that it was during the time of freedom, there was a means all the princely state has given option, either they can live with India or can go with Pakistan or can remain as an independent state. Okay, all other except these three, that is Junagadh, Kashmir and Hyderabad. These three states, there was one more, that is Manipur, but that Manipur have a different case altogether. But these three states, you can say, were major problems for India. Okay, because these three states do not want to join India, do not want to join Pakistan, they want to be as an independent state. Okay, and these have some of the special issues as well. Like if you talk about Junagadh, the population was of Hindu dominated, but the king was Muslim. और जो भी राजा था वो. Similarly for the Hyderabad, that the public wants to join India, but the you can say the Raja of that Hyderabad or Nizam of Hyderabad do not want. Similarly, in case of Jammu and Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh, Hindu population, a Hindu king, but the population of that again in vice versa. So it was a case, it was a special case. But this Kashmir, Pakistan also want to take. उसी समय पाकिस्तान को भी चाहिए था. So in the form of their army, they send some troops, although they do not accept till date, पर उसने अपने आर्मी को ही भेजा था. They said that they are the terrorists and all. तो उन्होंने कुछ टेररिस्ट के को भेजा था जो कि ऑलमोस्ट जो है जहां राजा रहते थे श्रीनगर वहां तक पहुंचने वाले थे. तो once they start reaching in that, so at the same time that Maharaja Hari Singh called then you can say Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and asked for the help, that is Indian army help. Indian army said, or you can say then Home Minister said that how I can help you? You are not the part of our territory, because Jammu Kashmir was an independent state at that time. So देखें आप तो भाई आजाद कश्मीर हो तो हम कैसे आपकी मदद कर दें इस केस में. So they asked that you sign the treaty instrument of accession and then we will help you. Okay. So you sign right now, we will send all our army there and they will protect you from this. Whosoever they are, either terrorist or Pakistani army, we will protect you. Once this debate was going on, at the same time, Maharaja Hari Singh was confused. Sometimes he wanted to be independent, sometimes he wanted to be with India and all. Okay, so in confusion, he put some of the conditions like referendum, Article 370, and these are the conditions. Since it was an initial phase or it was an initial era, तो at that time Prime Minister and then Home Minister thought that कि ठीक है अभी इनके conditions को मान लेते हैं, बाद में इसको हम देख लेंगे, ठीक है. Because they were thinking that Kashmir should be our territory. इंडिया को भी एक अच्छा मैप बनता हुआ दिख रहा था, माथा दिख रहा था इंडिया का. तो इंडिया को लगा कि यार ये एक चाहिए हमें ऐसा मैप, नहीं तो नहीं दिखेगा ये मैप, ठीक है. तो हमें भी चाहिए. So India thought कि why not do this? Let's do this. So with the sum of the condition, that is condition mentioned in Article 370, Indian government agreed to sign, और that is Kashmir, that is Maharaja Hari Singh, कि अगर आप ये सारे condition मानते हैं तो we will agree to sign that instrument of accession. And finally that instrument of accession was signed by Maharaja Hari Singh and Kashmir became the part of India. Then you remember, I hope, that during time of Lal Bahadur Shastri, a war broke out, and some part of that is we generally call that is POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and whatever part with us, they call Indian occupied Kashmir. Okay, so it's terms Pakistan used for us and we use for Pakistan. So at that time there was a Tashkent that is meeting, and we have lost some part of those which we were with earlier in that time. So that is a different aspect. But majority part of the Kashmir which we wanted have with us right now also. ठीक है, वही है, अभी जैसे माहौल चल रहा है, पता नहीं किसी दिन हमारे अंदर आ भी जाए. So that is a different story. So this is about Article 370, why special status was given to Jammu and Kashmir. Even if you remember, if you read the story, there was some story with Nizam of Hyderabad as well and Junagadh as well also. Okay, there was also some story that you can refer in the series Pradhan Mantri series which I have said you, or you can discuss with me individually. It was designed as a temporary provision and facilitation JK and transitions from an independent princely state to a democratic state. So whatever I have said you or explained you, it was written in very simple language कि ये ट्रीटी ऑफ एक्सेशन उस समय क्यों माना गया था, या उस समय आर्टिकल 370 को क्यों एक्सेप्ट किया गया था, बिकॉज ऑफ फैसिलिटेशन ऑफ अ ट्रांजिशन फ्रॉम अ इंडिपेंडेंट प्रिंसली स्टेट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर टू पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया. सिंपल, क्योंकि उसको पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया बनना में कंफ्यूजन था और इंडिया को उसको अपना पार्ट बनाना था, तो वी एग्री द सम ऑफ द टर्म्स गिवन बाय देम, but it should have been removed gradually, okay, which had not been tried by any of the leader till date, but it has been done now. Okay, so it has been, Article 370 has been removed. Okay, now the point where constitution stand, I have already said कि हम argument कर सकते हैं, बातें बना सकते हैं, जैसे मैं अभी थोड़ा देर पहले बना रहा था. But when coming to the constitutional part, there is a constitution challenges which is there, which can be asked by Chief Justice of India from the government. There is a method to change Article 370, which is written in the Constitution. How you can change Article 370? The first point, it is written that Clause 1D of Article 370 allowed the President of India to extend other provision of the Constitution through an executive order with a concurrence of J and K government. Please note this point. I'll come back to this point. There is another point written in this. There are the two way anyone can change Article 370. Article 370 को दो तरीके से चेंज किया जाता है, ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिखा हुआ है. पहला तरीका ये है कि प्रेसिडेंट बाय एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर कैन डू दैट. ओके, सेकंड वे जो है वो ये है कि आर्टिकल 370 empowered the president to declare either complete or partial cessation of the article operation, but only upon the रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेंबली ऑफ जे एंड के. यहाँ पे पेज फंसता है. क्यों? क्योंकि प्रेसिडेंट कैन ओनली रिकमेंड ऑन द रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेंबली ऑफ जे एंड के. जब आर्टिकल 370 लगाया गया था, जम्मू कश्मीर असेंबली थी ही नहीं. दैट हैज बीन, यू कैन से, प्रेसिडेंट रूल हैज बीन इम्पोज्ड देयर. सो ये अगेन एक चैलेंज है. कोर्ट विल आस्क कि जब प्रेसिडेंट हैज टू डू विद द हेल्प ऑफ और विद द यू कैन से रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेंबली ऑफ जे एंड के, and when Constitutional Assembly of J and K was not sitting, how did you take that decision? Then government will argue with this point कि प्रेसिडेंट के पास क्लॉज 1 और D में पावर है कि बाय एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर भी इस काम को कर सकता है. तो देयर इज अ टू वे ऑफ, you can say, change Article 370. One way with the help of Constituent Assembly of J and K, and another way was the executive order. So president has both the power, right? Either they can do this and do this. Now, what is the challenge in this? There is a doctrine. I hope you know what is doctrine. With the legal laws, sometimes court derives some of the doctrine, which generally, I hope you remember the famous doctrine of basic structure. Okay. So what is doctrine here, which apply here, which we say generally? Okay. The petition challenge in the President orders August 5. These actions are unconstitutional, void and inoperative. Legislative Assembly power. According to Article 147 of J and K Constitution, the Legislative Assembly of the J can had no authority to recommend any amendment to the Constitution of India. The challenge is based on the argument that constitutional challenge are considered colorable legislation. Kindly note this point. This has been challenged on colorable legislation. This is the point. This is the doctrine, making them legally untenable. I will explain what is colorable legislation in the next slide. Just check the point. What is it then? The doctrine of colorable legislation is the legal principle that says what cannot be done directly cannot be done indirectly. Point to be noted. क्या कर रहा है, इसको चैलेंज किया गया है इस बेसिस पे कि ये कलरेबल लेजिस्लेशन के विरुद्ध है. व्हाट इज कलरेबल लेजिस्लेशन? कि जो काम डायरेक्टली नहीं किया जा सकता है उसको आप इनडायरेक्टली कैसे कर सकते हैं. कहने का पॉइंट ये है, द पॉइंट हियर आई वांट टू एक्सप्लेन इज दैट इफ it has to be done with the permission of J&K Assembly, that is a direct way of doing this. But if it has been done indirectly by the President order, so both are wrong. Okay, so doctrine of colorable legislation is challenged in this, and according to doctrine of colorable legislation, that in constitution that cannot be done directly cannot be done indirectly. देखिए होता क्या है, कहां से इसका जो है मतलब इजाद हुआ या कहां से ये पॉइंट आया है, दैट इज कलरेबल लेजिस्लेशन. इन देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ वेज टू इंटरप्रेट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. जिसने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लिखा वो तो अब है नहीं, फोरफादर्स है नहीं, ऑल्दो इट इज प्रीटी क्लियर टू अस कि क्या लिखा गया है. Now suppose come back to the case of Delhi, because you people or we generally associate ourselves with the Delhi, right? The Delhi legislation is interpreted everyone by their own ways, right? The central government said that no, the power lie with us, that is lieutenant governor. Lieutenant governor is the head of the state in case of Delhi. Okay, whereas the Delhi government or some of the legal experts say that no, the power should lie with the elected government and chief minister is the head of Delhi. Okay, same constitution, same article 239AA, right? Same constitution, same article 239AA, but it can be interpreted in two ways, right? Emergency can also be interpreted in many ways, like, and it is the, you can say sometime, although I am not saying in case of article 370, government also tried to explore the loophole of the constitution. The constitution में क्या loopholes है, so sometime which cannot be done directly, like this has to be done directly by the permission of the legislative assembly. Now government was thinking कि जम्मू कश्मीर में तो हम सरकार बना नहीं पाएंगे इतनी आसानी से, तो ये पॉइंट तो मुश्किल है. So why we do not do indirectly by the power of the president? But this has been challenged on that point only, that is according to legislation of colorable legislation you cannot do, because if it is not, it cannot be done directly. Either you should do directly the way that is recommendation and all, ठीक है. But ये again some are saying that कि how can a Jammu Kashmir Assembly direct parliament की क्या change करना है क्या नहीं करना है, right? So again that has been also challenged. So there are 2-3 ways which can be had challenged. I'll discuss this topic again once constitution bench start hearing and what are the points pushed by our learned attorney general, that is Tushar Mehta, and the opposition, that is Abhishek Manu Singhvi may be there, Kapil Sibal. These are the famous lawyer. They generally stand as a opposition of the government. So we'll discuss that and we'll see that कि क्या कलरेबल लेजिस्लेशन पे क्या आता है, डायरेक्टली किया गया कि नहीं किया गया, करना चाहिए था नहीं. So we'll discuss that in detail at that time. अभी यही point है. So if we try to drive the topic or summary of that topic, article 370, चीजें बदल गई है. Now Jammu Kashmir is a UT like any other UT with a legislative assembly. Simple. But changing of article 370 or removing article 370 has been challenged in the Supreme Court. Now from the 5th August, 5 bench of Supreme Court will start hearing this, and one by one the point will be raised, like the point which I have raised here, कि कोई चीज डायरेक्टली किया गया, इनडायरेक्टली किया गया, what are the constitutional point of that, what is the legal point of that, what is the power of Jammu Kashmir Assembly, what is the power of parliament in case of Jammu Kashmir Assembly. So all these 4-5 parameters will be lengthy discussed in the Supreme Court. Once that will discuss, we'll have a discussion. But for me, I don't think it's a, you can say, settled case, because ultimately, if you remember, the same debate was once back there, case of power of parliament, and at that time Supreme Court already said the parliament has to power to amend any part of the constitution, be it a fundamental right. Okay, a famous Keshwanand Bharti case, but that should not violate basic structure. Again, federal structure is a basic structure. Relationship between central state government, federal structure is a basic structure. On the same ground, the ordinance of Delhi has also been challenged, right? कि फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर का वायलेशन है. तो अगेन इफ द फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर हैज बीन वायलेटेड, डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर हैज बीन वायलेटेड. सो पार्लियामेंट हैज पावर टू अमेंड एनी पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, बट not by violating doctrine of basic structure. So we'll see that, although it seems to be a settled case, although argument will be interesting, but it seems to be a settled case. Coming to the next topic, 6th year of GST, nothing again much to discuss, goods and service tax. Okay, can anyone explain what is the difference between VAT and GST? क्या difference होता है दोनों में? On simple term, if I don't want to understand these two topics, पहले VAT था, अभी GST है.
Tax on which the value is added, of the value added, to GST है वो basically जो GST the final tax जैसे production के बाद last tax.
Production के बाद See, I'll explain you a simple term. एक कोई भी चीज जब मार्केट में आता है, if some goods is in the market, what are the steps it's comprised of? सब पहला स्टेप तो प्रोडक्शन है, कंपनी. सेकेंड स्टेप, अगर बीच में कई सारे स्टेप हो सकते हैं, बट मिनिमम उसके बाद आता है होलसेलर. कंपनी हमें नहीं दे देगी ना डायरेक्ट, होलसेलर को देगी. एंड देन दुकानदार, जो सेलर है, जो लोकल कर सकते हैं, दुकानदार, शॉपकीपर एंड ऑल. सो दीज आर द मेनली 3 steps involved when a product reaches to the market. What is value added tax? That is value addition, right? Suppose a company is producing, suppose this is a pen and it is produced by a company. It costs 10 rupees production, right? So it has added 10 rupees value to this pen, right? So a tax will be introduced on this parameter. Now coming to the wholesaler. Now suppose the same, it will not sell 10 rupees to wholesaler, because transportation and all, and it has again add, wholesaler will add some value to it, suppose 13 rupees. Like, so 3 rupees again, the extra 3 rupees again that will gain a tax. That is called value addition. Suppose local जो है ये यहाँ तक पहुंचा 15 में, अब ये आपको 20 रुपीज में बेच रहा है, ठीक है? तो ये अगेन इसने लोकल शॉपकीपर ने ना वैल्यू ऐड किया, तभी तो आपको 20 रुपीज में दे रहा है. क्या फैक्ट्री वाला आपको 20 रुपीज में देगा? नहीं ना, वो कहेगा कि मेरे पास तो होलसेल प्रोडक्शन है, मैं तो आपको 10 में दे दूंगा, राइट? सो लोकल शॉपकीपर इज एडिंग वैल्यू, बट एट एवरी स्टेज टैक्स इज कलेक्टेड. सो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड वैल्यू एडिशन टैक्स. और वेयर जीएसटी क्या होता है? सिंगल टैक्स. अगर इसके बाद किसी ने टैक्स दिया है तो दैट कैन बी क्लेम्ड by filing GST. Simple example, suppose if as an institute I am selling a course, I had to pay GST to government, right? But suppose I am using this pen, I purchased this pen for my use, right? I have already paid GST on the student fee, right? So whatever facility I will pay, I will use for the student, like this board I am using for the student, and it cost me 2 lakh rupees or 3 lakh rupees. Then the GST on this board I'll claim from the government, क्योंकि मैंने तो आपको स्टूडेंट फी पे पैसा दिया था ना. गवर्नमेंट को कहूंगा मैंने एक चीज पे तो दे दिया, हर चीज पे कितना लोगे मुझसे? तो GST कैन बी क्लेम्ड बैक. ओके, तो एनी अदर स्टेज, तो GST सिर्फ एक ही स्टेज पे होगा. अगर एनी अदर स्टेज पे होगा तो दैट कैन बी क्लेम्ड बैक. बट इफ वी टॉक अबाउट VAT, it will be charged at every. So GST a way of single taxation system. Okay, you can say. So many indirect tax can be reduced in a single, not all indirect taxes, so many indirect taxes can be reduced in a single taxation system. That is a simple language we call as a GST. Recent on July 1, India took a huge step towards modifying its indirect taxation system, और वही वह जो गैम में ऐड हुआ है, ठीक है? GST गुड एंड सर्विस टैक्स, सेंट्रल एंड स्टेट टैक्सेस, इट डबल टैक्सेशन एंड मेक्स इंडिया प्रोडक्ट्स मोर कॉम्पिटिटिव. इफ यू रिमेंबर, उसमें आपको 2 तरह का टैक्स आता है, IGST और सेंट्रल GST, तो दोनों को टैक्स चला जाता है उसी के हिसाब से, ठीक है? बेनिफिट्स ऑफ मॉडर्नाइजेशन ऑफ टैक्सेस, GST बूस्टेड इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ एंड ब्रॉट इंडियन क्लोजर टू दी डिजिटाइज एंड मॉडर्नाइज टैक्स कंप्लायंसेस. ये सब सिंपल कुछ टर्म्स है जो आप लिख सकते हैं अपने आंसर राइटिंग में. इट इंटीग्रेटेड मीडियम एंड स्मॉल बिजनेस विद एक्सटेंसिव सप्लाई चेन इंक्लूडिंग ई-कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म. द टैक्स सिस्टम फॉस्टर्ड अ टेक इनेबल एनवायरनमेंट and laid the foundation of significant indirect tax reform. कई सारे challenges हैं, complex है इसको फाइल करना, understanding भी complex है. If you open the GST, you have to hire a CA or someone from account expert who can help in that. So there's some other challenging. कई सारे टैक्स फ्रॉड हो जाते हैं, कई सारे लोग जेन्युइनली नहीं करना चाहते हैं, but since filing is so difficult, so they do not go for this. So कई बार इसलिए चैलेंज ये आपको देखने को मिलता है. Area required attention in GST, upgrading the GST law to address the digital world and technological development. Rationalize the tax slabs to simplify the tax structure. Again, tax structure should be simplified. कई बार कैसा होता है कि जो necessity product है, चाहे गर्ल्स नेसेसिटी प्रोडक्ट हो या बॉय, उस पे टैक्सेस जो है 18% का दिए गए. दैट शुड बी कम इन द 5% ब्रैकेट. Okay, I hope you remember some of the names which is very need for our household and all. Okay, and similarly some of the product which should have a tax around 28% is in the bracket of 5% or 18%. So that can be increased. So tax slab rationalization can be done. Okay, taxation of petroleum, alcohol and other. I hope you remember alcohol and all other product still comes under VAT, not under GST. So that should be brought under GST. Again, a demand. Classification needed on taxing online gaming. यहाँ पे ये अभी किया गया है recently and 28% के ब्रैकेट में रखा गया है. I hope this I have explained in the beginning itself कि अब आप कोई भी ऑनलाइन गेमिंग में पैसा लगाएंगे तो आपको 28% GST देना पड़ेगा. ओके, बेनिफिट ऑफ GST आप पढ़ सकते हैं इसको अपने तरीके से. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है चंद्रयान 3. You can say a pride topic for us. Around some date have been announced in August when this will reach on the moon. 21st August. So 21st August this will reach on the moon, and it's a partial success for us. Please check the date if they are confused. I think so. It's a partial success for us because it all went. I hope you remember that figure when Chandrayaan 2 was launched and Pradhan Mantri was consoling then ISRO chief by hugging him. So that was said at that time that some loopholes and that has been corrected. Hope this time it land at the means you can say in the moon, and we have a clear picture there. Okay, and what are the missions that I'll explain just a second. Okay, so what are the Chandrayaan missions? India Chandrayaan missions are aimed at a lunar exploration and beginning with the Chandrayaan 1. Okay, launched in October 22, 2008. The primary science objective of the mission was to prepare for the 3-dimension atlas of both near and far side of the moon. ये सब आपको note down करना पड़ेगा. These are some of the fact, and fact cannot be changed or nothing can be explained in that. So you can note it down from yourself. By after session, I'll share this PDF with you. India's first lunar mission launched on October 2, 2008. 2008. Objective: mapping the lunar surface, studying the mineral composition and presence of water and lunar explosion. I hope you remember कि जितने भी countries इस तरह के missions कर रहे हैं, they are doing to finding the minerals, resources, life, exploring life on the other planet. ठीक है, और कुछ लोग जमीन भी खरीद रहे हैं वहां पे. So that is a different matter. But ठीक है, so with what we are doing, carried 11 scientific instruments including an impact probe, a moon impact probe, and that confined presence of a water molecule on the moon. So water molecule, because for the surviving of the life, the first basic necessity is water. Okay, because air available hai wahan pe. So water is the again a point which can be find out there, and then controlling the extreme climate. Okay, I hope you know that this type of Chandrayaan and all has sent by the cryogenic engine. क्योंकि क्रायोजेनिक इंजन के पास ये पावर होता है कि दे कैन वर्क इन द लोअर टेम्परेचर एरियाज आल्सो. सो दैट्स व्हाई दे हैज बीन सेंट बाय क्रायोजेनिक इंजन एंड ऑल. ओके, इंडिया सेकंड लूनर मिशन जो हुआ था जुलाई 2, 2019 को हुआ था. आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस ओनली दैट दिस मिशन हैज फेल्ड एंड द प्राइम मिनिस्टर वाज कंसोलिंग आफ्टर दिस फेल्ड मिशन, एंड द नेम ऑफ द लैंडर वाज विक्रम फॉर द सेकंड July 2nd, and the rover was Pragyan. This Vikram lost the contact. Okay, in the second Chandrayaan mission, this Vikram lost the contact. So that's why I'll give you that. You can note it down afterwards. This PDF will be given to you. Okay, so Vikram lost contact from the ISRO centers. So that's why this mission got failed last time. This time also the name of the lander and the rover is same. Okay, so this can be asked in the MCQ, the name of the lander and the rover. This time it is also Vikram and Pragyan. Okay, these are the lander and rover which works means which is essential part of the mission. Objective जो previous वाला था Chandrayaan 2 का जो objective था, soft landing on the lunar surface, studying the lunar topography, mineralogy, element, abundance and the presence of water molecule. So this is the same in the third also. Third के case में भी यही है. And follow up a Chandrayaan 2 which aimed to land a rover and lunar south pole, and the mission will have 3 major modules. The propulsion module will carry the lander and rover and configuration till 100 km of lunar orbit. आपको पता है कि एक ऑर्बिट तक ले जाता है, फिर वहां के बाद ये कंटिन्यू होता है. So that you can see any of the documentary or video there, you can understand this in that better details form. Okay, so PSLV है, most prolific है, जो कि chances है. So let's hope for the best कि this Chandrayaan 3 जो है वो सक्सेस हो और इंडिया का जो रिजल्ट चाहिए वो मिलता है. सम ऑफ द टर्मिनोलॉजी वी हैव इंक्लूडेड फॉर यू. PSLV क्या होता है, GSLV क्या होता है, although not important for this topic, but these are the very important topic, so you can read that. Okay, इसरो मून्स को एक्सपेक्ट क्यों करना चाहता है वाटर डिपॉजिट के लिए, फ्यूचर मिशन के लिए, वोलेटाइल कंपाउंड, स्ट्रेटेजिक एडवांटेज, ये सब चीजें है. And if you sometime some question is asked why India is doing this, sometime we have to show that we are the superpower, right? We are the one who can compete with the world. Okay, sometimes someone say कि अरे खाने को पैसे नहीं है और इतने पैसे लगा रहा. So these are not for that purpose. We have to obey some of the international law. We have to show that we are a superpower. Right now, if some countries inviting Prime Minister Modi, they are not inviting because the work done in India perspective. They are mainly inviting them because work done for the environment, work done for space research and all, work done for medical science and all. Because this you get by doing this, you get an international recognition, or India get an international recognition, not by doing development of state of Delhi and something like that. Yes, that is a good part. Okay, even if you say that when American president arrived India at that time, the first lady visited the Delhi government school. So that is also a pride point for us. But generally, when we do such type of thing like Chandrayaan and all, so that brings us an international glory. Okay. Next is the protecting the honor of national anthem. Recently, the executive magistrate in Srinagar sent 11 men to jail after detailing them for allegedly not rising for the national anthem at an event where JK and Lieutenant Governor were present. Just clarification of 2 points here. When I was starting this topic, I have said that obeying the national anthem or something like that is our responsibility. That is fundamental duty. How fundamental duties, if you remember or if you know some part, something about constitution, fundamental duty is 51A, right? अब यहाँ पे एक सवाल उठता है कि क्या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेकर को इतना भी समय नहीं था कि एक अलग से आर्टिकल बना देता फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज के लिए, लाइक आर्टिकल 52, आर्टिकल 53 और समथिंग लाइक दैट. It was inserted in 51A because initially we do not think of fundamental duties. Once country start progressing after independence, at that time then Prime Minister thought कि हर कोई अपने rights के बारे में बात कर रहा है, मेरा fundamental right क्या, I want freedom, I want peace. But no one was talking about fundamental duties, that is obey parents, that is to honor the national monuments and all. So these are the fundamental duties. 11, that is Swan Singh's committee. If you will read this completely in detail. Okay, Swan Singh committee के recommendation पे this fundamental duty has been formed. But I hope you remember, if you see the initial portion of the constitution, article 1 to 4 is something you explain about India and all, the state and all. Then 5 to 11 is citizenship. Then 12 to 35 you can say is about fundamental right. Then 36 to 51 is about DPSP, directive principle of state policy. How state should be governed. There is a directive over there. I hope you remember the hue and cry about UCC, Uniform Civil Code. It is under Article 44 of DPSP because DPSP is not enforceable. So that's why we say that UCC is not essential in India because it is under the, suppose if UCC was part of fundamental right, it has been enforced. Okay, but since it is not part of fundamental right, it is the part of DPSP, so that is not enforced. Similarly, this national anthem and other fundamental duties which we should obey is a part of, you can say, fundamental duties, so it is not enforceable in the law. Now, if you have read this, the point I have read here, that Srinagar district magistrate has sent 11 people to jail. तो जब ये enforceable नहीं है तो किस कानून के तहत भेजा गया? Generally, they are sent by violating public law and order. उसके आधार पे भेजा जाता है, ना कि fundamental duties के violation पे, because fundamental duties is not enforceable in law. So this you have to understand. Some students get confused कि फिर हमको क्यों punishment दिया जाता है? Because you have just disobeyed the public order. You have created a nuisance which can cause riot, which can cause some type of untoward incident. So that's why you have been arrested. fundamental duty is still not enforceable in law. Although I think that some point, or even government have also made guideline for the national anthem, national flag, apart from this fundamental duty, so that it can be protected. Section 1007 allows executive magistrate to take person who has disturbed or likely to disturb the peace or public to show the cause why they should not be ordered to execute and keeping in peace. कहने का मतलब ये है कि they are not arrested for under fundamental duties category, उनको section 107 के तहत arrest किया गया है. So that's the point I was trying to explain. Regarding national anthem honor, Supreme Court different verdict has been explained here. First point, part of fundamental duties that I have already explained. Requires citizen to uphold the values and institution of the commission as well as the national flag and national anthem. Prevention of insult of national honor, एक और extra act pass किया गया apart from fundamental duties, that is national honor should be जो है उनको prevent किया जाएगा. तो under this law you can be you can say trial or punished. Okay. Supreme Court ने जो है समय समय पे अलग अलग verdict दिया है. In case of Bijoy Emmanuel, the SC granted protection to the children belonging to Christian sect or having their right for freedom of religion. Again, Supreme Court has said that freedom of religion is more important than fundamental duty. So if they are not obeying under some conditions, so they are allowed. Okay. Similarly, standing respectfully without singing national anthem was deemed not constitutional offense under PINH Act. Okay, जो प्रिवेंशन ऑफ नेशनल ऑनर एक्ट था उसके अंदर अगर आप खड़े नहीं होते नेशनल एंथम के समय तो दैट इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड बिकॉज इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी. श्याम नारायण चौकसी, आई होप यू रिमेंबर there was a code when you earlier there was a national anthem saying during when you start a movie, when movie start in the movie hall, and at that time it was made compulsory everyone to stand. मतलब सिनेमा शुरू होने के पहले नेशनल एंथम होता था. बट वो केस भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट गया और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने शुरू में जो वर्डिक्ट दिया था, SC initially mandate and the playing of the national anthem in cinema halls, but later modified the order to make it optional rather than mandatory. तो ये ऑप्शनल है, आपको खड़ा होना हो ये नहीं. Although we should respect, it's nothing forcible, but these are national honor for us, like monument, these national flag and all. Like in America, you might be seeing people while watching matches, they bear their flag, they put legs on their flag. But in India, we respect that. No other country called its nation as a father nation or mother nation. But if India is doing that, so we should have, we as a citizen should have some responsibility. When we talk about our rights, we also think of a nation right. Okay, so that's the concluding point. Coming to some of the MCQ, which I've already said. Okay, with the reference to Instagram thread, there is a new app, Instagram thread. It's apart from Instagram. So with a reference to Instagram thread, consider the following. Instagram thread is a distinct applications derived from the Instagram, designed to prioritize the conversation over visual content. It lacks feature of responding to and redistributing post. ये गलत है, उसके पास भी redistributing post और sharing का option है. It works like a tutor. The character count post in the thread is limited to 500. The thread do not have the option to be edited once posted. How many statements are correct? So answer C, the that is 3 statements are correct. तो मैंने एक wrong already हटा दिया था जो second point था. Just to make you understand, Instagram thread is an app like Instagram, but it works like a tutor. Okay. Since this can be covered as a part of MCQ, that I am covering here, you can read in detail. CMB and TOMB were recently in the news. Consider the following about CMB and TOMB. Okay. These are the pathogen which is damaging tomato. That's why the price of tomato is high. तो इनके बारे में कुछ फीचर्स लिखा हुआ है, ये आप पढ़ सकते हैं. Why price is tomato high? TOMB and CMB, these are the some pathogens or कीड़ा है, insects है, which is damaging plant. Okay, so these are the plant pathogens that damage crop partially or completely. Correct. TOMB is spread mainly through no. CMB is spread mainly through aphids, not TOMB. Okay, so ये गलत है. When the forest plant infected, the TOMB it shows alternating. Okay, and yellowish and dark green areas which often appears as a blister on the leaf. So this you can yes I have answer B है इसका भी. So only 2 options is the correct one. The first and the third one is the correct one. Second one is wrong because the feature which is explained here is the feature of CMB, not TOMB. What is CMB and TOMB? That has been explained completely in details in the you can say answer part. So please go through that. with the reference of ocean mean temperature OMT, which of the following statement are correct? OMT is measured up to depth of 26 degrees Celsius, Assotham, which is 129 meters in southwestern Indian Ocean during January-March. OMT collected during January-March can be used in assessing whether amount of rainfall in the monsoon will be less or more or certain long-term mean. Only two is the correct. The first one is incorrect. OMT क्या होता है? That definition has been given here. और क्या incorrect है? That you can see here. OMT stands for ocean mean temperature. It refers to the average temperature of the ocean surface or a specific depth in the ocean over a certain period of time. OMT is an important parameter in studying and understanding the oceanic condition and their influence on climate and patterns, including the monsoon. So that is OMT. Which of the following statement about goods and service tax? That now we have discussed this. GST is a tax levied only on goods. पहला ही गलत है. Goods and service. I hope you know the difference between goods and service. Tailoring, teaching, these are the services. Goods you know which you purchase. GST is a tax imposed on a fixed rate on all goods services without any difference. अभी मैंने बताया कि slab होता है 18%, 20%, 5%. So it's not fixed. GST has resulted in elimination of all indirect taxes at both center and state level. No, there are still some of the indirect taxes, that is custom, excise. There are many. Okay. GST, although many of the taxes has been removed, but not all the taxes has been removed. GST is a value-added tax that levies on the final consumer at the part of the sale. It is right. With the reference to farmer distress index, consider the following statement. Farmer distress index parameters है, which is measured by an Indian that is I'll tell you the name. Okay, it consider a drought and flood measuring for the farmer distress. Correct, क्योंकि drought and flood जो होता है वो farmer के crops को खराब करता है and then finally lead to distress. So the first one is correct. It is developed by World Bank. No, it is developed by one of the Indian agency. I'll explain the name in the answer. It is developed to minimize the agrarian distress from the year. It is also right. So first and three is right. Only two. Why I am framing such questions? If you remember earlier question was 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 and like that. But only one, only two, because this was a pattern which is used by the UPSC this year. So that's why I'm also using the same pattern, trying to just make you learn कि आपको सारे तीनों ऑप्शन पता होना चाहिए. If you don't know कि कोई एक गलत है, कौन सा सही है, तो you cannot know कि कितने आंसर गलत हैं, कितने आंसर सही हैं. Earlier we generally use the method of elimination, which has been removed this year. That's why this year question was difficult, and saying that कि ये question difficult क्यों है? The reason being elimination method has been taken out of the concept. Okay, so this Taylor Glacier, which was recently seen in the location is an Antarctica. Just a brief about Taylor Glacier, why it was in the news, because इसी को हम कहते थे खूनी पहाड़. There was a लाल red color झरना जो होता है, the waterfall was there. So that research was done, and it was due to high iron content. इस वजह से वो red color था, not due to any other regions. So it is in the Antarctica. I'll show you the image also. After more than a century, scientists have discovered why Taylor Glacier Antarctica bleeds crimson red drool. So crimson red क्यों होता है? Scientists using samples from Taylor Glacier, Rusty Trunk, and November 2006 and November 18 managed to uncover that the region for the iconic presence of the iron-rich nanosphere. So this was the region. That's why color was red. You can see in the image, ये होता है. It's something seems like a blood. So we call it as a खूनी पहाड़, but it's not nothing blood. So that has been researched and the result is out. Consider the following: meteorites, dead satellite, different spectra left over after the collision. How many of the above are included in the space debris? Simple, all four. Anything, everything is included in space debris. जो भी उसमें बचता है, टूटा तारा जो हम लोग कहते हैं विश मांगने के लिए, that is the debris. Okay. So that's all. इसमें दी है. Okay. Who decide when there are rival sections or group of recognized political party, each of whom claims to be the party of the commission? Simple question asked है. पार्टी में लड़ाई होगा तो कौन डिसाइड करेगा पार्टी किसकी है? इलेक्शन कमीशन. It's election commission, and I hope you know the news right now. शिंदे faction अभी और महाराष्ट्र में जो है अभी अजीत दादा सेक्शन, that is शरद पवार and अजीत पवार. So that will be decided by election commission and finally by Supreme Court. क्योंकि इंडिया में हर केस सुप्रीम कोर्ट तो जाना ही है. with the reference of Indian Ocean Dipole (IOD), sometime mentioned in the news while the forecasting of Indian monsoon. Which of the following statement is are correct? IOD phenomena is characterized by a difference in sea surface temperature between tropical western. No, it is wrong. An IOD phenomena can influence El Nino impact on the monsoon. It is right. It can affect. IOD hota kya hai? That you can read here. Indian Ocean Dipole is a phenomena is characterized by the difference in sea surface temperature between Western Pole in Arabian Sea and Eastern Pole in Eastern Indian Ocean. That's why it affects the El Nino, not in Indian Ocean, which was written in the option. So that's why first option was incorrect. It was explained also. You can see once you get this PDF. Consider the following pair. Okay, so it is the some type of features of rocks which have been explained here. Topoles, this occurs due to fracture in rocks, correct. False, this involves the collapse of rock or debris, right. Spread, it occurs in the gentle slope where soft debris or other materials are widely available, right. Slides, it occurs in debris, rocks, and all are right. All four is right. By image you can see kya hota hai, what is fall, what is topple, what is slide, what is a spread. It happens in the rock, so that you can see it again a geography question. So that's all in MCQ part. Some of the mains question is given for you. Discuss the causes and impact of measures mitigate the effect of flash flood in valuable regions of India. A very good question. Try to attempt this question. You can send your views, your pattern. This type of question requires some creative answer from your side also. There are a lot of answers. डैम बना देंगे, रिवर कनेक्ट कर देंगे, फ्लड रोक देंगे, जो करना है करो, वो सब है कुछ अपना अच्छा सा आंसर अगर अपने दिमाग की सोच लिखते हो. आई मीन ये नहीं कि कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ही कर दिया, आज कुछ तूफानी करने का है तो कुछ अलग ही लिख दिया. यू हैव टू राइट इन कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ यूपीएससी. सो इफ यू राइट समथिंग फ्रॉम योर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू वे फॉरवर्ड, सो दैट वुड बी अ गुड. How does the Chandrayaan program contribute India's overall space exploration? So both the question asked is on the today's discussion, so you can write on that. Please refer to PDF and other newspaper articles to write a good answers over there. Any questions? Yes.
28% GST on online gaming.
28%.
28%
हाँ.
GST on online gaming as well as on I guess gambling पे भी.
Cryptocurrency and all. Yes. Online gaming and cryptocurrency.
Sir,
हाँ उस पे भी लगाएगा. If you mean.
पे भी I guess लगाना.
हाँ हाँ yes.
वो तो इंडिया में
जो कुछ पार्ट ऑफ गैम्बलिंग जो है लीगल है, लाइक सम ऑफ द कैसीनोज एंड ऑल, सम पार्ट जो लीगल है, तो लीगल नहीं है उस पे नहीं लगेगा. लीगलिटीज नहीं है तो दैट इज लीगलिटीज इन क्वेश्चन व्हिच कम्स अंडर लीगल लॉ ऑफ इंडिया, ऑन दैट ओनली दैट दिस विल बी अलाउड. अब यू आर प्लेइंग गेम लाइक इन ड्रीम 11, दैट इज आल्सो टाइप ऑफ गैम्बलिंग, राइट. ओके, बट इट इज लीगल. ड्रीम 11 प्लेटफॉर्म इज अ लीगल प्लेटफॉर्म. So some type of gambling is legal in India. Casinos वगैरह वो सब जो है वो illegal है, but some time of जो है वो legal है. On that the 18% tax has been 28% tax has been introduced.
जैसे हमारे पास अभी कोई सेंट्रल ऐसा अथॉरिटी नहीं जो क्रिप्टो करेंसी का सब देखता है, जैसे सेबी स्टॉक एक्सचेंज.
अभी नहीं है. That was only said कि it should have a regulatory authority. See, anything which will be decentralized will not have a single authority. कोई भी चीज जो सेंट्रलाइज होगा, लाइक यू टॉक अबाउट सेबी, यू टॉक अबाउट सेंसेक्स एंड ऑल, इट इज अ सेंट्रलाइज अफेयर, सो इट हैज अ रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी, ठीक है, दैट इज सेबी एंड ऑल. बट जो क्रिप्टो करेंसी है काफी डिसेंट्रलाइज अथॉरिटी है, प्राइवेट कंट्रोल चीजें हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई लीगलिटी ऑफ क्रिप्टो करेंसी ऑल वाज क्वेश्चन इन इंडिया कि यहाँ पे कैसे कंट्रोल होगा. इट विल बी वेरी मेसी इन इंडिया, सो दैट्स व्हाई इट हैज नॉट गिवन एनी लीगल हियर इन इंडिया. Okay, so that's the issue. See, it is not under any regulatory authority, but if you invest in some cryptocurrency, so that government can track exchange of money under that can come. Simple, there is a RBI regulation on every exchange. Any transaction you do, it has to be go through RBI regulations. Okay, so that's the
first Indian is converted into USD, then we can buy.
हाँ, that is the way you generally use crypto. आप जनरली नहीं करते ना, आप एक डीमेट अकाउंट क्रिएट करते हो एंड थ्रू दैट डीमेट अकाउंट भी दो. वो एक लंबा प्रोसेस यूपीएससी के लिए नहीं है, बट इफ यू वांट टू डिस्कस कि हाउ ये सेंसेक्स और कैसे इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है क्रिप्टो करेंसी, यू कैन रीच, मैं समझा दूंगा. डीमेट अकाउंट बनता है, जैसे जरोदा है, ये सब है, उसके थ्रू फिर इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है. देयर इज अ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस, नथिंग रिलेटेड टू यूपीएससी. यूपीएससी इज नॉट गोइंग टू आस्क. Anything else?
Sir, there is a law for respecting the national flag of 2004 में.
हाँ,
नेशनल एंथम के लिए तो ऐसा लॉ है.
ऐसा law नहीं है, no.
सर उसको इन्फोर्सेबल बनाया गया है नहीं.
जो law है उसको enforceable बनाया गया है.
उसको तो बनाया.
बनाया जा सकता है, but there is no nothing guideline. See, general क्या होता है, whether it is optional or mandatory. When you are standing for the national anthem, it is optional or mandatory. According to Supreme Court, it's optional. Right. Now, if government means by any executive order frame a law and frame some of the guidelines that this is how you should obey national anthem. It's out of respect we are standing, right? But it's nothing a law. Okay, and another is enforceable. अगर कोई law बनाया था, there is a law for the national flag. There is a law for some of the national honors which we should respect. Okay, but not any law for this national anthem.
In the law, there was like strictly follow the national flag.
Yeah, that there is a law that you have to do. That is why when anyone is arrested in flag violation, that is we say that they has been arrested in a flag violation code. उसको अगर किसी ने फ्लैग पे पैर रख दिया, ये कर दिया, तो we say that they have been arrested in a flag. लेकिन अगर नेशनल एंथम में किसी ने वायलेशन किया है तो वो सेक्शन 107 के तहत अरेस्ट होगा. There is no law or no violation about national anthem in that. अब there is a some sets of like we सब said देखिए 52 सेकंड में नेशनल एंथम खत्म होना चाहिए. But it's a you can say we generally do that, but not guidelines. अगर वो 53 सेकंड में हुआ तो वायलेशन होगा कि नहीं होगा, it's still not clear in the law. Okay.